Hello there, this is Bryan Beller from Bass Player Magazine, and we are here with Adam Nitti in Nashville, Tennessee. How you doing, Adam?
Real good.
Adam has a new record out, and it's called
Liminal.
Liminal, and we're just going to sit down and talk about it on a track-by-track basis here. The first track on the album, which is kind of just a barn burner right out of the gate, is called The Renaissance Man.
Yep.
And where are you coming from on that, and what's it all about?
Well, Renaissance Man, it's kind of a little silly bit of history. When I was in 7th grade, actually, yeah, 7th grade. We were in my English class, and we had this silly little vote that my teacher put together for all these little superlative titles that they were awarding in the class. And one of the things that we were asked to vote on was who out of the whole class would we look at as being the Renaissance man of the class. For whatever reason, I won the most number of votes for that. So it might have been cooler to be, I don't know, who's the most likely to be president, or
most popular,
or
some of the other, what are some of the other cool high school superlatives? Class clown.
Yeah, most likely to succeed.
Exactly, but no, you got Renaissance Man.
I got Renaissance Man.
Doomed to a life of poverty.
Right. Exactly. But looking back now, it's interesting how pieces of history become that seem insignificant at the time become part of your life when you look back in retrospect. And I've always been one of those people that I don't like just to follow in everyone else's footsteps. I like to try to do my own thing. And so Renaissance Man was the title of my record company back when we started that back in 1995. So that's been sort of a theme that's been carried through my career. But the whole idea of constantly trying to reinvent yourself and going through these rebirth periods and things like that, that's kind of where that comes from. So I thought it'd be fitting, since it's been a 7-year lull since my last record, to go ahead and sort of come out of the gates burning and just say, hey, I'm back, and this is who I am now after all this time, and what I'm trying to do, and that's where the title came from.
I'm going to try and show people a little bit of that intro to the record, or maybe the head or something.
Sure, yeah. The head of the tune, and the song was very much written around the melody. And as I've told people before, I don't really have any one particular approach for writing songs. Sometimes it's inspired by a bass line, sometimes inspired by a melody. Sometimes I hear the whole piece going through my head, from drums to bass to guitar to sax, or whatever the arrangement may be. But this was a song that was very much melody driven. It goes something a little bit like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like the first half of the melody, but it's played at a little higher tempo than that. But that's kind of what everything was centered around harmonically when it came time to put it all together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Cool. And then the second song is more of like a heavy grooving tune called Distraction.
Distraction, yeah. Yeah, that's built on like an ostinato bass groove that's doubled by the piano. 2, 3, 4. So that's the groove that kind of propels that song.
Distraction from what?
Distraction from distraction. I am the classic case of so easily distracted, short attention span, and the creation of this record had a backdrop at the time of all this some minor, some more major chaos all happening at the same time. So in my mind, the key objective became got to focus, and so the inspiration for this tune was really birthed from that. And it's funny because with the titles of instrumental songs, there's not always this very obvious, overt connection between the words that make up the title and what you're actually hearing part-wise musically. But for me, I really try to title songs based on what the mood or color is of the piece. And that's the headspace I was in when I was writing this. That's where that came from.